A program introduced by Senator Bob Casey to protect correctional officers at federal prisons has been given the go-ahead to expand nationwide. Officers will now be able to carry pepper spray for protection. That includes the federal prison near Waymart, where Eric Williams was killed.
I hope that the Justice Department was on its way to doing this anyway, but I'm afraid that that Eric Williams' tragedy and his death might have caused the movement in the right direction.
Senator Casey says the Bureau of Prisons has chosen the federal prison near Waymart and the one in Allenwood to study the effectiveness of the pepper spray program. It's been a busy day for police in Bradford County after two deadly crashes. The first wreck happened this morning just before 8 on Route 14 in Canton Township. Authorities say Brandon McNett, a high school senior in the Canton area school district, was killed when his car collided with another vehicle. A woman and 2 children in the other vehicle were taken to the hospital. Police say they are still looking into what caused this morning's deadly wreck in Bradford County. Not far from that crash scene, a motorcyclist was killed when he was hit by a tractor trailer along Route 6 in Wysox. State police say the biker pulled out onto Route 6 right into the rig that was heading east. The road was shut down for nearly 3 hours after the deadly collision in Bradford County. This man from Susquehanna County pleaded guilty today to hitting and killing 2 pedestrians last year, but denies being drunk at the time. Brett Bennett of Kingsley says he was behind the wheel when his vehicle hit 2 men along Route 11 in New Milford. Today, Bennett pleaded to involuntary manslaughter charges, but will still go to trial on the DUI charge he faces in Susquehanna County. And in Monroe County, state police say this crash in the Poconos is now a case of homicide by vehicle. 1 man was killed and more than a dozen people injured when the van they were in slid off a snowy Interstate 380. The driver, a 22-year-old man from New York, is facing numerous charges, including reckless driving and involuntary manslaughter. Also in Monroe County, the search continues for a man who went missing earlier this week. It was day 4 in the search for 61-year-old Hee-Chol Kim, who was last seen on Monday. Community members from the Mountaintop Estates development near Bushkill spent the day searching. Family and friends say they are worried because Kim is diabetic and speaks little English.
When someone says, "Help me find someone," you just can't say no. I don't think I could say no if it was an animal. So we have to pull together and we have to do everything we can.
Tomorrow, the Northeast Search and Rescue of Monroe County is getting involved along with search teams from New York and New Jersey. An arrest has been made in a bank robbery last month in Wayne County. Police charged Stephen French with the holdup at Citizens Savings Bank along Route 6 in Honesdale. Investigators say footprints in the snow led them to a tattoo parlor where he had been staying. French was picked up in New Jersey yesterday and is awaiting extradition to Pennsylvania. At least one school district in Luzerne County took precautions today because of an online threat involving an unspecified school in Pennsylvania. The Wyoming Valley West School District decided to play it safe today. Guests who were supposed to read to students for Read Across America Day were told not to come in. The superintendent told us officials wanted to limit the number of visitors in the district schools today. Classes continued as normal, but some parents want to know why they weren't informed.
I mean, we get email notifications and text alerts when there's a school delay or a school closing. Why not something, I understand they don't want to panic anybody, but you take what's happened in the recent past, I'm a little upset.
Police in Luzerne County say it does not appear that the online threats came from our area. Meanwhile, a teacher in Luzerne County was sentenced today on child sex charges. Back in December, David Shuga, a former teacher in the Dallas School District, admitted to taking inappropriate pictures of female students with his cell phone. Today, a judge in Luzerne County sentenced Shuga to house arrest and probation. A woman in Lycoming County is due in court next week on child endangerment charges. According to court papers, back in December, Erica Moore of Williamsport put a drug called PCP in a cigarette, then put the cigarette on a coffee table and walked away. Authorities say her 10-month-old daughter started chewing on the cigarette and had to be treated at the hospital. Faithful parishioners at one church in Luzerne County call today's noon benediction an important milestone. Newswatch 16's Bill Waddell shows us how St. Joseph's in Hazleton has rebounded. 50 years after a devastating fire.